Today we're working on February March 2020 paper 3, which is data analysis. That's the spreadsheet task of the IGCSE examination. You are going to prepare a spreadsheet for just dive for Rust, okay? So the first thing is we open the file, we examine the two files that we're working with, rec.csv and diveplanner.csv. So I have my files downloaded here, rec and dive planner. We can open both files together and try to go through them. The first thing is just to basically go through them. We are not doing anything serious yet. Okay, so taking a look at the two, this is the dive planner and this is the rec file. With both files identified, we can then go on to the activities that are expected of us and begin working on them. So the first task says we should save the dive planner file as a spreadsheet with the file name planner underscore followed by your center number and candidate number. So I am saving it as a spreadsheet file. Okay, the dive planner. Yes, I'm saving it as an Excel workbook with the name planner underscore my center number underscore my candidate number. The center number will be given at the prompt at the time of examination. But being Nigerian, I am getting the center. I'm making my center number NGR and the candidate number 0001. Okay, so we can continue with the next part of the question. It says insert a new row above the rows containing planned dive time or between the rows containing planned dive time and save. And we have to format the spreadsheet to look like this. So between planned dive time and save, we insert a new row and we have to format the spreadsheet to look like this. You notice A1 to C1 has been merged. So we do that. A1 to C1 is merged and centered. B3 and C3 have been merged. B3 and C3, we merged that. Okay, the font size, the font, we need a font that looks like this for both of them. So we select and we change the font until we have something that looks like that. Something with a heart, a font with a heart, and we look for a font that gives us something close to that. So that's what. Okay, we have something close to that. With that, we can increase the font size. We want this much bigger than that, much bigger than that, until we get something that looks like what we have in the question. It may not look exactly like it, but it should look close to what you have in the question. Rust. Okay, the four shows we don't have it yet, so we might want to look again uh, till we get something. Okay, this is another one. This is another one. No, it's still not looking like it. Ah, well, as long as we have something that is close to it, for me, we are fine. Once we have something that looks like it, we are fine. Okay, so that looks good, and we can go on with that. We can basically accept that as our work and look at the other part of it. Dive 1 and Dive 2 have been emboldened and centered. Dive 1 and 2 have been emboldened and centered. Okay, so we do that. And here, okay, we can see that the rows 2 and 4 have also been dropped. Rows 2 and 4 have been dropped right there, so something close to that. I want to show a little bit of that and a little bit of that. Okay, okay, yes, okay, so that looks good. And then we go on to the other part that says format the merged cell A1 to have white text on a dark blue background. A1 to have white text on a dark blue background. White text on a dark blue background. Format the merged cell B3 to have black text on a pale blue background. Black text on a pale blue background. Pale blue background. Okay, pale blue, something around here. Okay, pale blue background. Okay, and with that done, we can go and save the spreadsheet. Place your name, center number, and candidate number left aligned in the header. Place your name, center number, and candidate number left aligned in the header. So we need to insert a header, left aligned, your name, center number, and candidate number left aligned in the header. Place the text last edited on followed by an automated date center aligned in the footer. Last edited on followed by an automated date center aligned in the footer. Last edited on followed by an automated date. You will find the date right here. Date. Now, when you go back to the question, you would notice last edited on has been emboldened. So let's make that bold. Make that bold. Okay, now that looks really good. And with that, we can exit the header and footer section. So you can simply change your view here, and it gives takes us okay. So we exit that and we come up to the normal view. The normal view gives us this. Okay, and with this we can easily continue. In cell B7, use a function to look up the rec name. Use the rec code cell for this dive for the lookup value and the file rec.csv for the array. So this is where we are having the function and we are using the code from the rec code cell for this dive. Okay, rec code cell. So this, yes, this. So B7 right here. So we need a lookup function that will fetch a code from here, look it up rec from the rec file, and return the rec name. So if the rec code was A, it should return albatross. If the rec code was Z, it should return Zenobia 9. Okay, so let's do that quickly. We can use the VLOOKUP to accomplish this. VLOOKUP, we are looking up values from here. Okay, the array is this. This is our array. Okay, we want the column index number is 2 because we want to return the rec name. So we have 2 and we want an exact match, so we impute false. That being done. Okay, now because there is no value here, let's test this. If it's A, we should get albatross, very good. If it's T, should get very good. If it's E, we should get this, very good. But there is nothing there, and when there is nothing, it shows NA, but we do not want NA. So in order to fix this, uh, we bring in the if function. All right, so we have the NA, and we would try to fix this by using the if condition. Just before the VLOOKUP, we have a condition that says if the cell we are fetching from is empty, then the rec name should also be empty. Otherwise, that's when it runs the VLOOKUP function. So to do that, we write the if function. If B6 is equal to a blank cell, then we want B7 to also be a blank cell. Else, we want it to run the VLOOKUP. You close the parenthesis after the VLOOKUP, and that is it. As simple as that. You can see it becomes blank. Now let's test it to see that it works. A should give us albatross, and it does exactly that. And when we take it out, rather than give us the NA, it gives us a blank cell for the rec name. Okay, so we go on to the next part of the question. It says in cell B8, use a function to look up the depth of the dive. Use the rec code similar to what we used in step 3. Excuse me, for the lookup value, and the rec file for the array. So let's do that for B8 now. Similar to what we did previously, let's just go on and use our VLOOKUP to fetch. Given the code, let's get the depth. To get the depth, we select the array from the code down to the depth. But in this case, since we are fetching the depth, it's on the third column, not the second column like the rec name. So we have 3, and we want an exact match, so it's the false. Enter, and it gives us something similar to what we had previously. And we also fix that in a similar manner using the if function. So if cell B6 is empty, then B8 should also be empty. Else B8 should have the value of the VLOOKUP. Enter. Awesome, that's it. So let's test that as well. And it gives us this. And when we take it out, it's empty. Okay, the next question says we should replicate these functions for both dives. We're familiar with this, so all we have to do is simply copy this over, and we copy this over. So we test this, and we have that. We test this, and we have that. Awesome, awesome. So it works really good. Okay. Um, it is safer to do the deepest dive first. Just dive 4 rust wants an error message if the second dive is deeper than the first. If the depth of the second dive is more than that of the first, it should tell us whether it's safe or not. So we're merging cells B11 and C11. Merge cells B11 and C11. In this merge cell, use a formula to display the text unsafe. Second dive is deeper if the second planned dive will be deeper than the first. If the second dive is deeper than the first, if the second is deeper than the first, meaning the depth of the second dive, if it is more than that of the first, it should output unsafe, second dive is deeper. Or to display yes if this is not the case. Okay, so let's do that. And using an if condition, we can easily get that done. If the depth of the second dive is more than the first dive, it should output unsafe, second dive is deeper. Else it should output yes. Okay, that being done. Okay, and then it goes on to say format this merged cell to have a red background with text, with white text, only if the message unsafe second dive is deeper is displayed in it. Red background with white text. So we go to conditional formatting, and we highlight cell rows if the text contains, or if the text equal to on save. Second dive is debug. We want it to have a red field with white text. White text, red field. Okay. Okay. So how do we test for that? Let's find something. Okay. So knowing that the depth for dive 1 is empty, which is about the same as 0, let's have a depth for dive 2. 16. um, get something in here. Okay, that is more, so we know B is more than A, so we have B right here, and we have our A here. Awesome. So it works. It works. That's beautiful. Now that we know it works, we can go on to the next part of the question. So this is a really good test, and it shows us that we have gotten this part right. We've gotten this part right. Okay. Place in your evidence document a screenshot that shows how you applied the formatting to this merged cell. Okay, so that is this. What to show the rule that we applied. Yes, this is how we applied it. So that's the screenshot we need to include. This is how we have applied it. All right, then we get our evidence document from the evidence document. Oh, the evidence document is not stored here, but assuming we had the evidence document stored here, we would have easily just pasted that there. Otherwise, we could get ours being evidence 1. We can create an evidence document now and have it in there. Yes, it's evidence 1. Okay, save your spreadsheet. Print only cells A1 to C11 of your spreadsheet. So evidence 1, and it's pasted right there. Okay, save your spreadsheet. That has been done. Okay, so this is good. Every other thing works well. It's been saved now. Print only cells A1 to C11 of your spreadsheet showing the formula. Make sure it is in landscape orientation. The row and column headings are displayed. The contents of these cells are fully visible and can be easily read. Okay, so we go to our document A1 to C11. A1 to C11. And to print that, we can go to print section. Okay, we want it in landscape right there. Okay, but it says to show the formula that we have used. So let's go on to show the formula. From the formulas tab, there is a section that says formula or D10, and in there we get the option to show our formulas. We show our formulas, okay, and we want it all visible just so our formula is showing properly. Okay, now with the formula showing, we can reduce the view. A1 to C11 is what we need, and we can see that the print is over here, so it will cut it off right here. To change that, we can go to the layout view and easily move that over there. Yes, to ensure this is the page that is printed, and we take it up. Okay, so this ensures that what we have printed is this part of it, A1 to C11. But the question says we want to also print the headers. We want to print the headers, so let's make sure of that the headers are included. Okay. Okay, we want to show the row and column headings. So this is what we need. A1 to C11. We're showing the row and the column headings. Let's go back to confirm that. A1 to C11. Very good. Very good. Alright, so let's take a look at the print preview again. And this is what we want. This is what we want. It looks really good for us. The contents of these cells are fully visible and can be easily read. Yes. The row and column headings are displayed. Yes. It is in landscape orientation. Yes. Make sure that you have entered your name, center number, and candidate number on your spreadsheet showing the formula. Yes. Name, center number, and candidate number on the spreadsheet showing the formula. And the footer, we have that right there. So we can easily print this, and it is saved in the PDF. So we have our planner saved in our folder for February, March paper. Okay. Oh, right, so that being saved, we can go on to other parts of the question. Now it says use the spreadsheet to plan dives with records of first A, that's dive 1, and then O, dive 2. A, dive 1, and O, dive 2. Okay, so let's do that. We can exit this view, go back to the normal view. So we have our test dive 1 being A and dive 2 being O. Enter. Let's go back and show the values. All right. Okay, so this is what we expected today. You can see the depth is more. The depth of the second dive is more than that of the first dive, making it unsafe since we want to dive into the deeper end first before the shallow end. Okay. Um, yes. Okay. Save your spreadsheet. Print only cells A1 to C11 of your spreadsheet showing the values. You see, showing the values. Make sure that it fits on a single page. Row and column headings are not visible, not visible, but all contents are fully visible. So we go back and we do the same. Go to the setup and we take out the column and row headings, but we want it printed on one page. So A1 to C11 fully visible. A1 to C11. Yeah, so this is it right there. We're printing just the first page and that is it. Okay, so this is test test 1 that will be printed of the planner, or planner test 1. Okay. Okay. And then we go on to the second one that says use the spreadsheet to plan dives with records of first O and then A. So now we are switching first O and then A. First O and then A. Okay, this is safe. Print only cells A1 to C11 of your spreadsheet showing the values. So they are still not visible. We are showing the values and it fits on a single page. Okay, so let's take let's have a printout of this. A printout of this would give us that exactly, and that is all that is needed. This is what we need. We're printing the first page. It's all clear. A1 to C11, having this clearly shown. All right, so we print that as the planner test 2. Planner test 2. Okay, and it's all done. It's all done, and that is it. I'll see you in the next paper we're working on. Thank you.